You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If... then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, then each and every... So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to ignore him. He doesn't know what... The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor of the blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. You ignore the trembling in your hands.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you?
You step forward, your grip on the...
Oh? No talking then? Fine. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is so, you should just...
She's unarmed. If you... I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon...
Hesitating. What?
You charge the princess, blade in hand. But unfortunately, your earlier suspicions proved correct. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with... With the last bit of your will, you press forward.
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
It's like she's convinced she can't. But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes down. You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stabbed to death.
And you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time, when we asked you if you were sure. But it turns out she did, because when we charged her...
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons. It hasn't. Or, if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. Those are two very different questions, but let's say for a moment that this really is the second. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died. We did exactly. Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate night. But congratulations, you've been given. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the wrong... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed... Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do...
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realise that She just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do...
That's the spirit.
Just be quick about it. She just can. But she's still only a princess. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place... Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me.
Oh, and don't get stabbed, what?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail...
You didn't tell us about her knife.
That's because she's unarmed. And... Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but... Oh, of course you're special.
If anyone's special here, it's her. Oh.
Great. Now, if you don't mind... A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will...
He couldn't be more on the money. But we really do.
We know what to look out for this time. Just stay...